Sup nerds, I'm Tom. Let's talk about the new anniversary edition of Cutthroat Caverns, and is it better than the original version? If you own the original version, should you throw it out and get this version? Well, let's find out. Like I said, in this video, I'm just going to compare the two editions. If you want to hear my thoughts on Cutthroat Caverns, we do have another video for that. You should check that one out. But in here, I'm just talking about the base game comparisons between the Anniversary Edition and the old version. And the biggest difference is the component quality, of course. I'll show you some side-by-side pictures here. These player cards alone are like worth purchasing this edition because they're super thick, double layered, almost like quadruple layered. Like they are super thick. And you have these little tokens that help you keep the score, like they don't slide around. Like those little gems in the old version really slid around. They changed the graphic design on the monster cards, but they did keep like the backs of cards the same, so that way if you have some of the expansions and stuff from the older version, you still want to mix in different monsters and stuff, you could still do that. They redesigned the tokens. The tokens are relatively the same quality, but they did change like the graphic design on all the cards, the monster cards and everything. And this monster board, again, that's the double layered. It's really, really dope. Really nice. Again, you don't have to worry about anything sliding around over here. Even the rule books in the Anniversary Edition are different. This version is a full color and it's a little bit easier to read, so it's mostly components that make this edition better. In terms of gameplay, it's mostly the same. There are a few small tweaks to the rules. I'm not even 100% certain of what all of them are. Like, I think the big one is that there are finisher cards, right, for the encounters. So those are the ones that you want to put towards the bottom of the deck to kind of stack it. I think they still recommend the Ripper to be your first one. They added Relic Cards in this version. So normally that was an expansion for the original version. There was a second expansion too, was like Relics and Ruins or something like that. And here you get some Relic Cards to start with. I still think that you should treat the Relic Cards kind of like an expansion to play them after you've played the base game a couple of times. But it is nice that they're included in there. One thing you should know is that this is the Anniversary Edition, and this is Wesley's copy of the base game of Cutthroat Caverns. I brought a little surprise for you today. This right here is my copy of Cutthroat Caverns. This is their, the fourth expansion? Yeah, expansion 4 and Battle Box. So I have every expansion in here for Cutthroat Caverns, even those like RPG books for it, including, so everything in here. So notice I did have to pull the insert out of here. The insert was really nice, but it didn't hold sleeved cards, and then I got that 5th expansion, so it wouldn't all fit in here. So the question is, if you own all of this stuff for Cutthroat Caverns, should you get the Anniversary Edition? Well, I have a buddy who owned just the base game and like one of the expansions, maybe 2, and he still bought this because it's still self-contained. You could still play this. You could include some of the other cards and stuff. It's mixable pretty well. But like one of the expansions in here added new player cards and stuff. My main thing is I'm saying I think this Anniversary Edition is amazing. If you only have the base game of Cutthroat Caverns, definitely throw that out and get this new edition. But for me, I'm going to keep it kind of separated for right now because I have all of this stuff. And I think there were 5 expansions, and like and one of the expansions was Relics, right? So are they going to put out another Anniversary Edition of the Relics and Ruins expansion with the same relics? You know what I mean? I would be okay with them coming out with, I really think they should come out with more expansions in this new printing version, but it's okay, I would say, for them to like combine expansions. Combine 2 and 3 into one box, and combine 4 and 5 into one box, And if you're going to redo another big box, which would be great. But Kurt, if you're listening, and if my opinion matters to you, make it a little bit thicker, because this is actually like really, long and thin, and there's not a lot of great places on the shelf to put this because putting other boxes on top of it, I'm kind of worried about it bending and stuff. And I can't put the cards sideways in a file like this. I really like being able to do that, and I can't do that here. So I'd love to see them do more with the Anniversary Edition, do more expansions and whatnot. If you already own everything, yeah, it's a little hard for me to recommend that you get this, unless you're going to do like what I do, is I keep this kind of self-contained for now until they have more expansions with this version. And I feel like I've been rambling a lot, but I think you get what I'm saying. Good addition. If you have the expansions, it's mix-inable, but the best of the best would be them coming out with the reprinting the expansions in this new look. Either way, I will have purchase links to the Anniversary Edition in the description box down below, as well as some information about this awesome Game Toppers table here. I know y'all been eyeing it. It's really dope. You should check it out. Either way, you should subscribe to our channel so you'll never be bored.